Hey guys, welcome to the daily review. It's July 6th and it is a Friday. So, in today's review, I'm going to try to give you more of an overview, mainly go over the weekly charts and kind of look at what happened over the past week. It'll probably be pretty brief, just kind of going over the very long term view of things and hopefully setting you up with a good feel for what to look for next week. The first thing to do is to go over our terms. It's important for those watching to understand that this is a daily review for educational purposes only, and we're not qualified or licensed to give you investment advice. So this is just our personal opinions and our personal advice on things, and it's for educational purposes only. Okay, and with that, let's jump into the analysis. Alright, the Australian dollar this week was a slight turnaround. Now, I was pretty bullish on the odd dollar because over the past few weeks, the odd has gained strength pretty consistently and was rallying quite nicely, and it had broken a few key levels. Now, one level that it didn't quite break during last week was this one you see I've highlighted in yellow here, which we didn't quite get through. So I don't think that the odd has quite turned around enough to break any like major resistance levels like the tops right here. So I'm not quite bearish on it yet, but it does look like a nice, bearish tail forming, and perhaps it could be a good short entry if we see follow through in the following weeks to come back down here to this resistance level that I have drawn at the bottom. So that's something to be watching out for. I'm somewhat surprised that the odd didn't continue up, but the U.S. dollar did gain some strength, and the odd didn't finish the week quite as strong. So we'll see what happens next week. I think there's a decent probability that this could be a fake out and it could actually continue upward. But we'll have to obviously wait and be patient with that to see. Speaking of dollar gaining a little bit of strength, we see that the euro dollar, because of euro weakness, was an absolute bearish monster this week, and actually is looking to close below this this previous level, which was also the previous low of this little upward channel where it stopped last time it was on a downward track. So a very massive bearish bull there, showing a lot of momentum to the downside. And for me, this is a great signal for euro weakness, because for a long time everyone's been saying euro's going to crash, and it is headed downward, but just not, it's not as consistent as people would like. It does have those rallies where it goes to to the upside for a few weeks in a row, and then you got to wait and catch it short when it's ready. And so obviously this week is a great bearish signal, and perhaps something that could follow through for a lot of pips to come. Something definitely to be looking at. And if you look back, you see that there's definitely some resistance. There's always going to be resistance, but it does have a lot of room to head downward, because it's nowhere even near as low as it's been before. Down in the the 80s, obviously. So a lot of room for euro dollar to head down if it really did catch some momentum and start moving in that direction. Now, pound dollar doesn't have quite as much momentum because there's some resistance in its way. When I zoom up on pound New Zealand here, you'll see that it hasn't actually even eclipsed the low of this bullish bar. So for me, that means that it's not quite ready to be shorted. I would like to see it eclipse that low and actually break through there. Now again, the problem with pound is if it does break through, then you're right into this next resistance level, and you don't really want to short it there either. So for me, that means you kind of got to wait and either wait for a bounce out of this level, or if next week is as bearish as this week, you could even see a break of this level. And a break of this level would obviously be a very big short signal, because it hasn't been able to break this level since here you see about August of 2010. So close to 2 years it's been since it's broken below this level, and a break below that level would be a seriously bearish momentum short signal, and would be something that I would be looking to take. Let's look at the euro odd and the euro cad real quick. Both of these are just bearish monsters as well, because the odd has been strong and the cad has been strong, and the euro's just died. So if you look here, you see that it broke right through the bottom trend line, which means that the downtrend got even steeper than it already was. And you can see here now that we're at let's see, 7 in a row of weekly bearish bars, where the euro odd is just taking off. And I remember talking way up here when we talked about jumping short on this. So hopefully, if you were looking at the analysis back then, you took a great trade on this. I know that Casey shorted it up here, pretty nice short, and made like 12 or 15% on his account with the short of the euro odd. He actually cashed out at the previous low here for a really massive target. So that was a great trade there. But again, yeah, euro is just very weak. You can see if I look at the euro CAD as well, just the same type of deal, just an absolute just crash. By the way, that euro odd that I just showed you was the record low. So as it made a new all-time low there for euro odd. Now, euro CAD isn't quite an all-time low. You see that the all-time low is down here, but we sure are getting close. So again, it broke even through the already downward channel that it was on. So it wasn't as steep as euro odd, but just obviously just a massive bearish bar, and showing a lot of bearish momentum in euro. Okay, let's look at the pound New Zealand. The pound, oh, that's the odd yen. The pound New Zealand is one that kind of turned around a little bit towards the end of the week. You can see that we have this retrace here, but still, for me, there's still bearish momentum there, because I don't think that the pound is going to gain a ton of strength. And I certainly think that the New Zealand is in better shape than the pound right now. As you can see, I'm short on this. I'm only up about 280 pips right now. I was up 400 pips yesterday, but as I said, it retraced to some extent. I have a few hundred pips locked in there with my stop loss, as you can see. So I'm just looking to hold this and wait, and hopefully, if I'm lucky enough that it doesn't retrace back into my stop, that I could head all the way down to touch these previous lows in the 185.80 area. And of course, that's what I'm looking to do. That's about 1,000 pips. So that would be the ideal situation there. But with pound New Zealand, still not a bullish signal by any stretch, but definitely trying to retrace a little bit here. I think that's about. Oh, euro pound actually broke the descending triangle on its weekly, so I wanted to share that with you. This is the last thing that I wanted to share. For me, this is euro pound. Let me pull that down there. For me, this is a great short signal, because obviously the long-term momentum is very much with euro pound. And as you can see, a lot of times we do have these steps and then a fall, and then the steps and then a fall. And you can see that our next step certainly has a nice bearish break through the descending triangle and a pretty good short signal, if you ask me. So for me, that looks like a pretty good signal, and I think that again that just speaks to the euro weakness in the market, as the euro is definitely falling apart more and more. So euro pound definitely breaking down there and making a new recent low as it breaks down near the 79.20 area. All right, I think that's about it for the weekly analysis, or the weekend analysis, I should say. Hopefully this was helpful, and it'll be useful when you're trading next week as you go about it. And good luck, and I'll talk to you very soon.